Hi there, my name's Lily, and I'm so glad that Ed went first because I think when it comes to what PR and marketing is, I think that was a great overview of what it is, and my job could not be more different, and I think that's the conventional one, and if that's what you came to hear, then I'm really glad that happened. This is my job, and when the topic of how did you get here come up, I thought I often ask myself that question because I often look around and my job is a bit like this. To start off with, I opened a business, a cafe laundrette business in 2012 with my two sisters, and recently a TV journalist got in touch with me and said, "What's it like working with your sisters? Are there huge feuds? Do you hate each other secretly? Do you secretly, is there sibling rivalry?" And I didn't know how to answer the question. I felt really stuck because the truth was, no, we really got on always. And this is what my sister did to me for her A-level art project. That's a mixture of flour and water paste, and I just got coated in it. And we've basically supported each other all the way through. We've basically done what anyone the other has said, and maybe to our detriment. This is us. When we were small on the left, and basically now. It was taken a year ago, that picture. And our story is quite a fun one. We're all very different. My eldest sister, Ellen, she did engineering at university. Cassie, who's sitting in the middle, she did sociology, and I did English literature at Bristol. We all went to different universities, but we all ended up in the same city in Bristol. And basically, the story goes that Ellen came home one day. I was doing my GCSEs, so I was 16, and she said, "I've had an idea, and it's to open a cafe and laundrette." And we thought it was a great idea. One of those ridiculous ideas that you have and you keep and you think, one day I'd love to open a cafe and laundrette. And we never in a million years thought we'd actually do it. And secretly, we didn't tell each other, but secretly we all began working on the project. So Ellen and Cassie were both living in Bristol. I was in a little sleepy village back in Sussex with my mum. And here's what me and mum were doing. So we basically really love charity shop shopping. We always have. And we'd go around to charity shops and we'd just think, if we ever did have a cafe and laundrette, I'd really like this piece of china to be in it. And we collected so much china and pictures and anything to do with washing, vintage signs. And we basically filled their rooms. We didn't tell them. We just filled their rooms full of china. We kind of thought we weren't really collecting for anything. We just kind of liked the idea of it. Unbeknownst to us, Ellen and Cassie were sort of doing the same thing in Bristol, but they weren't hunting for china. They were hunting for buildings. Not that any of us had a plan to actually make this happen, but they found a building. And it had been a laundrette back in the 1950s. There'd been a fire. The whole thing had burnt out. And this was it. And at this point, I should say that I've come to university just. I've enrolled to do an English degree without any plan of what I'm going to do at all. And we looked round, and it looked like this. Sorry, it's dark. There really wasn't very much electricity to show for it. And we all completely fell in love. And suddenly we had too much china to keep in our house and an empty building. We had to put the two together and make something happen of it. So we did. So we spent 9 months doing up the building. This is all pictures of us, which I chose selectively, but actually it was a huge team of plumbers and electricians and things doing up this building with us. And in 2012, we opened this. This is our little cafe laundrette. It's all very cute. We hadn't really planned a kind of aesthetic for it, but we'd got lots of cute little things. And if we ever have a house, this is what we want to do with it. That was kind of what we went with. And suddenly, we realized that part of our job had to not just be to build this building, but to tell people that it was there. And marketing suddenly became a thing we had to do. I was not at all prepared for this. So I was doing my degree at this stage in the middle of it. And actually, Ellen was a full-time engineer, and Cassie was soon to be a mum, and end up looking after her kids. And it was soon about to be pretty much mine to look after. So about a year and a half ago, we did a refit. We decided that this was looking a bit tired, the fashion had changed, and we decided to kind of redo our website, which I taught myself how to build, and make it look a little awkward picture of me, to bottom left there. But we decided to give it a rebrand. And this was because we suddenly realized that people knowing about us was important. When we were opening, we were one of 2 cafes on this street. And I think, 4.5 years later, there are now 15 on the street alone. You can walk from 4 minutes, I think, from one end of the street to the other, and you pass 15 cafes. In the kind of whole local area, it's more like 25. We've got some serious competition on our hands. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we were marketing. Because the reality was coffee wasn't enough. Everyone was selling coffee, and even the fact that we had a laundrette in the middle of our cafe wasn't really enough. It wasn't enough of a USP, except that it did something for other people. How many people have asked or heard this question asked? It's not rhetorical. Put up your hands if you have ever asked the question. Great. This is the thing that we wanted to solve. This is a known problem, and we wanted to solve it. The problem was that the modern world wanted to solve it as well. And they had a technique for doing it. Please place item in the bagging area. Unexpected item in the bagging area. This is a familiar picture. Basically, life got easier, more convenient, quicker, technology changed, so that now you can do anything with your smartphone. And basically, you can get so much more done, and you pack things into the same amount of time and can achieve loads more. But for us, this really wasn't the problem. The problem wasn't that actually there wasn't enough hours in the day. It was that we didn't have enough time, like space, or time to think or process or write letters. We were just working, getting things done. And this actually exacerbated the problem. So suddenly we were doing so much more, could achieve so much more, and had so much less time. Now, I'm an English graduate, and I'm embarrassed at what I'm about to reveal. I basically knew that that was a convenience lifestyle. It's based on needing to do things, and I couldn't work out the word that was the opposite of convenience. It's inconvenience. It took me ages. So I went for the classic English graduate, thing to do, to go to thesaurus.com and look it up. And this is what it gave me: damage, disadvantage, handicap, unhappiness. And I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I think we're doing something different. And I think we're trying to slow life down a bit. Essentially, what our business entails is you put your washing in the washing machine, and you have to wait 40 minutes for it to finish. And that 40 minutes is yours. It's guilt-free, and you can do whatever you like with it. And it's so exciting to watch what people do with it. At Christmas, everyone wrapped their presents. It was really fun. So people just came and brought their presents. They asked for tape, and they all just sat there and wrapped their presents. We have people Skyping people, and what else do people do? They write letters. Lots of people draw. And people just use the time really well to get things done. This is how we serve our coffee. We're not really into the whole get a coffee, get out. Coffee drinking was always meant to be a leisure activity. Since when has a leisure activity happened where you go like 5 minutes before work, you get it to go, and you have your Bluetooth conversation with your boss on the way? Oh no, don't do it, people. This is how you should drink your coffee, and you should wait 3 minutes for it to brew. Oh, Joe. I knew I was going to win with this photo. So this is Joe Beezer. He actually no longer works for us, and this is my nephew, Alfie, when he was born. It's 2 years ago now. And we employ people based on that family attitude, the fact that we want people to have time to chat to people and take time out of life to engage with a new community. When we were all growing up, we all went to Zambia, not together, just randomly, separately, and we really expected to see poverty when we went, and to a certain extent we did. Financial poverty, huge, but what we also saw was community, and that's where the name comes from. If anyone was interested, our name is At the Well, and it's because at the well there was people, people doing their washing and people getting water to drink, but mainly there was this incredible community space of people doing mundane tasks in company and using the free time to sing and interact with each other. And it was an incredible image that we wanted to bring back and we wanted to put in our little laundrette. And so that's what we do. We expand time, we give you more hours in the day, and my job is to make sure that people know that that's what we're doing. My job is not really to sell washing powder or coffee, although I think I'm quite good at doing both. But this is what I'm selling. And I hope you come down and visit, because it would be good to see you there. Thank you very much.